Hi, I'm Dr. Joel Minden, licensed clinical psychologist and author of Show Your Anxiety, Who's Boss. Here are 3 suggestions for managing coronavirus anxiety. Number 1, it's important to remember what anxiety is so you can figure out how you want to relate to it. Anxiety is a future-oriented emotional reaction to a perceived threat. Whether you anticipate that you'll be exposed to the virus, that you'll spread it, that you'll develop symptoms of an illness, when you anticipate that something bad will happen, that it'll be catastrophic, and that you won't be able to cope, you're probably going to experience some anxiety. Remember that anxiety is a normal emotion. It's something that we all experience. We don't have control over anxiety when it occurs or whether we can reduce it, but we do have options for responding more effectively to it. Anxiety is uncomfortable, it's inconvenient, it's annoying, but anxiety is harmless. Number 2, often when we feel anxious, the ideas behind the emotion are difficult to identify, and that makes it so hard to figure out how to cope. If you tend to worry a lot, it's important to be as specific as possible about your concerns. Writing them down is a great way to do that. Writing your concerns brings clarity to your thinking, and it also gives you an opportunity to make plans to address practical problems or just to respond more effectively to anxiety itself. Here's an example of how this might work. Suppose you question your ability to prevent illness. It might be helpful for you to spend some time on the Centers for Disease Control website to get some more information that'll prepare you. Similarly, if you're unsure about school closures or travel plans or where to get tested, you might want to contact your local school or airline or medical provider to figure out how to prepare yourself in the event that you do experience illness or your plans are interrupted. And if you tend to spend too much time online looking at news sites and that exacerbates your anxiety, it might be helpful to set aside a certain amount of time to look at websites, let's say 10 minutes each day, once or twice. And that's a good opportunity for you to take a look at the news stories and stay informed. And after that, you get on with other things, personal responsibilities that might be more important to address in those moments. Number 3. One of the things that makes anxiety so difficult to manage is that we're not always able to take action to solve a problem or reduce anxiety. If you're so focused on the uncertainties of the future that you're spending a lot of time trying to answer the unanswerable, or if you're trying so hard to reduce anxiety and your mind and body are fighting back and suggesting to you that it's just not going to happen, you're probably going to end up feeling much worse. See if you can remain objective about your inner experience or even relate to it with self-compassion. For example, if you tend to have a tough time with overthinking and you find yourself going down that road of exploring the what ifs and the yeah buts, it might be helpful to remind yourself that uncertainty is hard. And no matter how hard you work, you're not going to be able to resolve certain concerns, and maybe give yourself a break for getting stuck on these ideas and redirect your attention to something that's more important. And if you're having a tough time with anxiety itself, you might make a commitment to relate to your authentic thoughts, your bodily sensations, the urges you might have to avoid or do something to protect yourself, or the feeling labels that you use to describe all of these processes with greater self-compassion. Give yourself a break for having authentic feelings. They're just feelings, and it's okay to go through a difficult time, especially when you're dealing with a lot of unknowns. The important thing here is that you accept the inner experience and then redirect your attention to important matters like your work, your family, your friends, school, important responsibilities, the things that you do to relax or have fun. And eventually, the more that you work at this, it'll be easier to accept the things that are difficult and then redirect your attention to what's truly meaningful. Accept and redirect. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dr. Joel Minden.